bak the distance training revolution. Okay. For these reasons, cardio is a useful form of exercise, but it should not be abused. At the risk of encouraging you to binge watch Netflix on your couch, it's not the actual cardio exercise that is the big problem. Rather, the, the amount people do inappropriate amounts of cardio without proper strength building can result in some pretty serious health conditions. In addition to creating a slow metabolism, take a look. Heart complications. Studies have been conducted looking at the other end of the exercise spectrum to see whether more exercise is always better. One of these studies was published in November 2017 in the Mayo Clinic proceedings. Researchers found that people who exercised well over the National Physical Activity Guidelines for many years were more likely to develop coronary artery calcification (CAC) by middle age. CAC, which is measured using CT scans, indicates that calcium containing plaques are present in the arteries of the heart, a predictor of heart disease. The study included almost 3,200 people. Researchers followed them for 25 years, starting when they were young adults. People who exercised 3 times the recommended amount, or the equivalent to 450 minutes a week of moderate cardio activity, had a 27% higher risk of developing CAC during the study period compared to those who exercised the least. Too much cardio over time is risky to your heart health. everyday issues. Exercise is supposed to promote longevity, right? Well, it depends. Studies have found that high doses of physical activity may do the opposite. In one such study, the Copenhagen City Heart Study, moderate joggers who jogged at an average pace for 3 to 4 hours a week had a threefold increased risk of dying, only compared to light joggers who performed light physical activity less than 2.5 hours a week. For strenuous joggers, the risk of dying was 9 times higher. Strenuous joggers ran at 7 miles per hour on average for more than 4 hours a week. The researchers concluded, on the basis of current knowledge, if the goal is to decrease the risk of death and improve life expectancy, going for a leisurely jog a few times per week at a moderate pace is a good strategy. Higher doses of running are not only unnecessary, but may also erode some of the remarkable longevity benefits conferred by lower doses of running. Repetitive stress injuries. Over the past 35 years, the number of Americans who jog or run has risen 20-fold. In 2018, the number of U.S. joggers and runners was established to be nearly 60 million. I'm glad that so many people are moving their body, but this activity can come at a price to your joints. Depending on what kind of cardio you do, your ankles, knees, hips, and lower back can take a real beating. Cycling can create poor posture in your shoulders and back. Even swimming, a form of cardio credited with being joint friendly, can cause shoulder issues over time. These problems are called because cardio usually has a set type of movement that you do repetitively with no regard to bad balance. For example, running uses the legs and upper body in the same ways over and over again. To prevent overuse, the injuries, you need you need balance with your movements. Low energy. Listen to your body for noticeable decreases in your energy levels. Your body cannot adequately recover from a demanding cardio program if you are simultaneously dealing with other stressors in your life. As a result, you get tired, worn out, and prone to illness and injury. As a rule of thumb, if exercise recharges your energy levels and makes you feel revitalized, then that's a sign that it's doing you good. But if you're overly exhausted afterward, it it it, it may be taxing your body and depleting vital energy reserves. There is a better way to lose body fat, get healthy, and fight aging. Given that cardio slows your metabolism, making fat gain easier and creating a soft body, and has health deficits, is there a better way to work out? Absolutely. There is a superior method of that exercising that just happens to be the only form of activity called, according to research, that speeds up your metabolism and keeps you in a fat burning state, plus improves your health and longevity. And you do not have to spend hours doing it. You can spend as little or as much time as your schedule that allows. If you stick with it and just set up a month, you can amplify your calorie burn by hundreds to thousands of calories a week on average. Imagine burning more calories automatically. Imagine having a faster metabolism. Imagine making your body resistant to gaining fat. Imagine eating more foods but getting because your metabolism burned off those calories. Sound like something you are ready to do? Then, then let's go. There was no at all training method for fat loss than what you are about to learn. Chat after 2. To you are not doing to burn on fat. If cardio is the absolute worst choice for losing body fat, what is the best type of exercise for long-term fat loss? In simplest terms, whatever builds muscle. Muscles are very important metabolically active tissue. This means they burn a lot of calories just to maintain that themselves. If your body doesn't think it needs muscle, it gets rid of it, and it won't waste precious calories maintaining it. When that happens, you're sending the following signal to your body. Hey, body, my muscle tissue isn't useful. That is the wrong signal to send. By the way, your body then responds or adapts to this signal by deconstructing that tissue. A loss that results in less muscle, more body fat, weak bones, and a generally flabby physique. Your body will have as much the will have as much muscle and strength as it deems necessary. If you do not give your body a reason to have strong muscles, it will lose muscular size, strength, and calorie burn. If you have ever broken an arm or a leg and had to wear a cast, you were probably shocked at just how much muscle strength was lost in a relatively short time. Muscle is expensive, and without sending the right signal, your your body will reduce your muscle mass in an attempt to slow down your metabolism. Fortunately, we know how to prevent and cure the this conditions, and it has a name. Resistance training, also called weight training, strength training, bodybuilding, or just lit or just lifting weights. Don't let the fancy names throw you. Resistance training is simply walking against a type of force that resists your movement. If it initially conjures up weight benches and barbells, you're alright, partially. So, resistance training includes traditional weightlifting, but but don't uh, but don't forget about the dumbbells, resistance bands, even exercise using your own body weight. All it takes in a, all it takes all it takes to count as resistance training is a force pushing back on the force you're generating, performed in a way that promotes strength gain. When you do resistance training properly, you send the right signal to your body. Build muscle and strength. For that to happen, two main two main adaptations need to occur. The first, the first signal is central nervous system CNS adaptation. The central nervous system consists of the brain and spinal cord. The brain is like a computer that regulates the body's duties, and the nervous system they, is like a network that relays messages to parts of the body. To try this experiment with what on hand, take an object and squeeze it as hard as you can. Except make sure the rest of the entire body is completely relaxed. This hand is this this hard. This is hard to do at first because your natural instinct is to tense up the rest of your body, and including your face. Now, repeat the squeeze, but this time squeeze your entire body along with your grip. You you probably not noticed that you were significantly stronger when you had tensed up your entire body versus when your versus when when only your grip was activated. This is due to the whole body activation of the CNS. As an other analogy, think of your CNS as the amplifier of the body, and your muscles are the speakers. You can have huge, powerful speakers, but with a small, weak amplifier, you won't get much sound coming out of the speakers. This is why it was hard for you to squeeze as hard as you could while you're keeping the rest of your body relaxed. Your body naturally wanted to crank up your CNS for maximum effort. The way you're alone to perform resistance straight inhale will result in CNS strength adaptation. All exercise causes CNS adaptation. But what we want is a strength adaptation that the CNS learns to activate muscles with organized force. A good CNS strength signal feels strong, stable, safe, and powerful. A bad CNS strength signal feels achy, unstable, and weak. The second signal is that resistance training tells your muscle fibers to grow. The larger muscle fibers contract harder and produce more force. This is not a big shock. We've known it for a very very long time. And larger muscles use up more energy. They require more stored carbohydrates from muscles, glycogen, and they require nutrients and calories just to maintain themselves. Well, that well that's it for today. That we got into this second chapter of the book, and to the next time.